In this lecture, we are going to create a comparison program, and we are going to introduce the comparison operators and then if selection statement. So basically, we are going to create a program that will prompt the user to enter two integers. Now, making use of if selection and the comparison operators. Now, this program will now compare between these two integers and then give us the relationship that these two integers satisfy. Which one is greater than, which one is less than, and whether the numbers are even equal to one another. So I already created a file with the name comparison.py, and I have entered my shebang. Line number 3 is a comment, as we have seen earlier in our first lecture. So I'm going to start scripting right away. Alright, so basically line number 5 is a print function, as we have seen earlier, and then we invoke the print function, and then as argument we enter a string, which is basically a message that will just a message that will be printed out on the terminal. Hello friend, enter two integers, and I'm going to tell you the relationship they satisfy. To enter the relation, I'm going to tell you the relationship that they satisfy. Alright, they satisfy. Alright, so alright, so line number 6, basically what I did, I created a variable with the name first number, and then I invoke two functions. So here we have two functions called. Now the order of call, the order of operation that these functions are going to operate. Now the innermost function is going to be evaluated first. So the innermost function is the one that's going to be is the one that's going to is the one that's going to carry out each function first. So input will now prompt the user with this message, enter the first number. So it's going to is the innermost function. It is the one that's going to be executed first. So after prompting the user to enter the first number, and then now we know that input function, whatsoever input function get from the terminal, it is going to be converted into a string. Now it is now the role of the since we say we are expecting the user to enter integers, now we need to convert them from string to integers. So here what we are doing what we call casting or typecasting. So we are using the basically an int to convert it into integer. So here, whatsoever we got from the user, whatsoever the user enters, the input function is going to convert it into a string, and then the int function will now convert it into an integer, and then it will be finally assigned to the variable first number. So to get the second number, I will just copy this, and then because basically it is the same way, I will just copy this and then copied it, and then I'm going to paste it here. So second number. Second number, and the int the same way. So it's basically just the some little changes enter the second number. So at this stage, we have gotten both the first number and the second number. The user will enter the first number and is going to enter the second number. All right. So we have a redundant parenthesis here. Okay, everything is all right. Everything is all right. So let's proceed. So line number 9, I'm using if selection control structure. So basically the syntax of if selection control structure is that we have the if, the keyword if, then followed by a condition that we want to evaluate. Now this condition will either evaluate to either true or false. So within a parenthesis, we write a condition that is going to evaluate to either true or false. So if this condition evaluates true, then the statement, a statement which can be a statement, a single statement, or multiple statement, they are going to be evaluated under the if structure. So under this if structure here, we have only a single statement, which is the call to the print function to print the first number, which is an integer, and then we use a comma to concatenate it with a string, which is print the message is greater than, and then we use a comma also to concatenate it with the other second number, which is also an integer. So basically what we are going to have first number is greater than the second number. So we have, this is the way if work. We have the if selection control structure followed by a condition. Then if the condition evaluates true, then the statement, which could be a single statement, placed under the if structure. So you can see that the print, the call to the print function, there is a tab. You can look at the indentation level. You can see that it is not at the same level with the if structure. So it is under the if selection control structure. So it is under it. That means this print statement is going to be evaluated if this condition, if this particular condition, which is within the parentheses, if it evaluated true, then the call to the print function will now be executed. All right. So before we go far, let's run this program and see if it is okay. Then we can proceed with our coding. So I will save it again and then go to the terminal, and then I will navigate to the to my desktop, and then to my lectures, a directory called lectures, where I have where I place all the scripts for this lecture. So ls will list out all the files that I have in that particular directory. So I have comparison.py. So I'll enter the interpreter I want to use to run this particular file, and then the name of the file is comparison.py, and then I will just hit enter. Hello friend, enter two integers, and I'm going to tell you the relationship with this satisfy. So enter the first number, let's say 12, and then the next number, let's say 10, and then 12 is greater than 10. So as we can see, our program is working perfectly. We can see that it's logically 12 is greater than 10. So of course it's working perfectly. So let's proceed and code the remaining part of this program. Right, so I'll just copy this because basically it is all the same. It's just some minor changes. So I'll just copy this, and then I'll paste it here, and then I'll paste it here. So if first number is greater than, now we have tested greater than. Now let's go with less than. If it's less than second number. So print first number is less than second number. All right. So we go down again, and then paste it here, Now we are going to test for greater than or equal to. So greater than or equal to second number. So first number is greater than or equal to equal to second number, right? So and then we go down again, paste this one here as well, and then so we have test now less than or equal to. So less than or equal to. So less than or equal to. So first number is less than or equal to. Is less than or equal to. Okay, so and then we go down again. Okay, so greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to. Now let's test for equality whether the numbers are equal. So if first number is less than if first number equals to second number, print first number is equal to. Is equal to second number, right? So this is basically, these are the operators. This is the operator for greater than, this is the operator for less than, this is the operator equivalent operator in Python syntax. So this is which differs from the mathematical how we express it in mathematically. So this is how we express it in Python programming. So greater than or equals to second number, less than or equal to, this is the operator we use. And for equality, we just put two equal signs. Because if we put one equal, then it will assume we are going to make an assignment operation. We are trying to assign a value to a variable, which is not what we intend to do here. We want to compare whether one number is equal to the other number, right? So we have first number is equal to the second number. So print number is equal to second number, right? So let's run this program to make sure everything is working correctly. And then if there is some few modification that we need to do, we just come over and make the little modification. So let me clear this terminal, clear, and then comparison.py, hello friend, enter two integers. I'm going to change the relationship with this satisfy. Enter the first number, 12, and then enter the other number, which is 10, and then let's see. Okay, so we have 12 is greater than 10, 12 is greater than or equal to 10, which of course is right. Okay, so let's go with some another number again, 10, and then let's go with 10 again. Okay, so 10 is greater than or equal to 10, 10 is less than or equal to 10, and 10 is equal to 10. So we can see that our program is working correctly. So this is the way we make use of if selection control structure, which we are going to see in our other subsequent lectures again. And then this is how we make use of comparison operators, and then this is how we make use of input function to input an entry from the terminal.